Okay, guys, thank you so much, and I'm gonna get into it now. I just had to get the YouTube stream up, so I think we're good now, right? Okay, got TikTok up, got YouTube stream. Okay, so we're good on the stream. It's like we're into the stream. I'm streaming now. Both sides coming in, right? And let me get this music out of your way. Okay, let me get that. Now I'm back up, man. Now it's time to get into some actual like mythological breakdowns, right? Like this is where we are. So the last time I came in, I know we talked about some symbolism. If you didn't peep that one earlier, man, I got into some good symbolism earlier there. We talked about the Ankh, we talked about the Wa scepter, we talked about the Wadjet column. All things are like, it's basically like a triad of Kemetic or Egyptian like symbolism, right? So I spent about an hour on that one. Like that was a good session. I kind of cooked with that one, right? I think there's some good info in there. And now I'm just kind of getting into, back to this list of deities, right? Like these are the lists. What I've been working my way through is all the gods and spirits that are related to the Americas, right? I mean, from top to bottom, like from Canadian all the way down through South America, and like just focusing on the gods that come from this land, like this land space. It includes the Caribbean, right, as well, the Americas essentially. And it's a rich like tapestry of gods. I gotta be really honest. If you ever want to get into some gods, like we know all the Greek, we know all of them, right? We get all the great stuff. Not hating, but I'm simply saying like we live over here and we know more about your gods than we know about the gods that walk this land. Like E40 always said, man, I'm loyal to my soil, right? Like we come from this land, we come from this soil. Like a lot of us, right? I know we all got here at different times, but man, this soil has been such a part of like who I am for so long, these Americas, that I don't know anything else. And I'm like, seriously. So this is just love and devotion for all cultures that come out of this continent here, right? The Americas, right? So we're going to rep some mythology, and mythology is really, really deep. And I would compare this mythology like to anyone else's stuff, man. I have no problem repping, American culture, American-born mythologies, like the Americas, right? Like I'm not above that. So if you guys are interested, I've been doing this, man. This is my giveaway for you guys right now. Hey, fam, I forgot to mention not the video that I did publish this new. That's my video about the book that I released for you guys. But where's that at? Where the hell is that at? I do have a book that covers everything in this. It's a very, very simple reference guide. But if you're looking to kind of just get into understanding mythology Jesus Christ, what did I do with this stuff? Yeah, I'll find it later before we get off of here, right? But if you are just more into like studying the mythology, I got it, right? I got it for you. I got a free book. I'm going to drop the link in the chat so you guys can just click on it. If you guys want to cop the book, I'll drop it in there. And in fact, let me do that right now so I don't forget. Just a nice book, man, for your own like reference. You can kind of, in fact, I'm just going to drop this in here too. Like, why not? Why not let it run, right? Let it burn. Like, right? Isn't that what Usher would always say? Let it burn, right? I'm just going to let this, you guys can at least see the imagery that we're talking about, right? Hey, fam, I forgot to mention earlier that I did publish this new ebook, The Complete List of Gods and Spirits of the Americas, right? This book, it's available in ebook form, and I'm not even charging for this book right now. It's a very simple kind of guide, but it's packed with information. It's listed up on my Patreon account. You guys don't have to do anything to get the book. If you just have the link, I'm going to drop the link into the comment section. Everything's going to be good. But if you're interested, you just want to go grab the book. Everybody cop the book. It's my first one. It'll be some feedback for messing with this channel for so long. For me, so cop the book. Let me know what you think about it. It's very simple. I may come back and do a version that has artwork later, but this is a really simple reference guide for you to talk about the gods and spirits of the Americas. So this land, it's very important, and I got a free copy for you guys. Okay, so, man, that guy talks a lot, right? Damn. Okay, but I do got a free book for you. I hope you guys all go check it out. It's on my Patreon. You don't even have to be a Patreon member, right, to cop the book. But this is something I'm going to start doing for Patreon is kind of compiling some information, and I'll do something like a book a month that'll be part of my membership thing. So this is something I'm working on, and I think it's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to it, and it gives me something where I like to give something free. Like like I said, my catchphrase is I'm your mythological. I'm here for your mythological queries, but also we lead with love around here, man. Like we lead with love. I got Kat here. Like this is one of my favorites. Like I'm telling you. Right, I gotta give her a shout out, man. I just gotta let her know she's down. I'm down for her, right, as well. Across the pond for us, so that's kind of where we're at. Like we're across the pond, right? Like I like to say, internationally known and locally respected. But we're not here for all that, right? We're not here to talk about my shine. What we're here to talk about is these deities here, okay? And I want to make sure that my music's not overtaking me. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit more. Just I like to be on the safe side of things, right? So these are the deities here, and I've got I've been working my way through this list, and I'm telling you guys, there's like 144 deities in this book, right? So if you go cop it, right, you're gonna be like, damn, there's 144 deities, kind of broken out by what they do, why they're important, and it's got good pronunciations for all the names. I included this in every single one of them, even the ones that are easy, because I'm like, look, you never know, right? So the first one here, I think we're about 10 deities in so far. Like we've got through 10 deities. So that brings us to this gentleman here, who is Hunhu-Ha-Nampu, who is obviously this Aztec father. And he's an important figure. Anytime he's like maize, right? Like this is where he is. This is the maize deity, right? The maize deity coming from Maya belief system. And he has an affiliation with these hero twins lineage. He is actually the father of these famous twins. So he himself is tied to his spiritual lineage, right? This is resurrection, this is symbolism. He is a mythic hero who died. So he's slain by the Lord of the Underworld before the birth of his two sons. And his two sons, who we'll talk about, I think we'll cover both of them in this one. I have them prepped up, so we should get to both of his two sons right now. But let me tell you about this guy right here, man. Like clearly, there's a lot going on here, right? There is a lot going on with these deities here because they're all, again, so anytime you're maize, like maize again is the staple or one of the major staples for people during that period of time in that area of the world. Just like other places, it's like it was three of their agriculture, right? Like so if you weren't up on it, it's like corn, maize, right? Like all those things, corn, maize, squash. Yeah, no. Corn is maize, beans, squash. Yeah, so your carbs, your proteins, and then like your vegetables and all that stuff. All that comes together. So anytime you see somebody and they're repping like, yeah, I'm the maize guy. If you're out and you're like, hey, so what do you do around here? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm the maize guy. He's at the top of it, right? He's real like the agricultural renewal water gods are at the tippy top. That's why the sky gods are like the sky deity is probably the best job that you could get down there if you're joining the pantheon. If someone's starting a new pantheon of deities and they're like, hey, we're considering you for being in the pantheon, this is what we're hiring for, right? And they've got all these spots, and you're like, yeah, I want to be the sky deity because the sky deity is the most important because you cause rain, and without rain, nobody lives. But right after that guy comes the maize father. That's where he gets at, right? So we talked about him. He has a great anger with the underworld. The lords of the underworld are summoned to kill him and kill them, the twins, and end up killing him. So his severed head. Now this is how the story goes down. This is the interesting part of this, right? So he was said to be okay. So he and his brother were known for playing that sacred Mesoamerican ball game. Okay, remember that, like the one with they catch it and it kind of looks like basketball, but it's not really basketball. Whatever that game is that they played, he and his brother used to play this game, and it angered the gods. And I'm gonna tell you guys, this is like the 5th time I've heard about gods getting angry about the noise. So I don't know whether we need to shut up or they need to like grow a tougher skin, right? Because we're essentially like you're killing your children because they're too loud. And I know a lot of people get that. But you can't really do it. You don't really do it. They really do it, right? So they get upset. The rulers of the underworld get upset, right? Because it's like, you guys are making too much noise. Like, literally, you guys are like, do you know what up means? Do you know what shut up means? And we were like, and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna teach you about it. So they come and they're like, yeah, we're gonna kill you. So they're coming to kill him, right? And they do kill him, like they get him. Like, I'm like, they're coming to kill him. They killed him and they cut his head off. Okay? And you would think that would be the end of the story, but it ain't. That's the beauty of mythology. You would think that's the end. It's, oh man, it was making too much noise. God just set it off, man. It was over. But no, he lives. And what he does is they hang his severed head from a tree, right? And the tree itself starts growing gourds. This is important for them, gourds that look like skulls. And then, of course, this maiden approaches the tree, right? Now, what's she going to do that for, man? And again, I'm not blaming the victim, but like, why are you always approaching something, man? Right? I'm sorry, it's a long story. Okay. So at some point, he sees her and he spits on her hand and gets her pregnant, right? He spit on her hand and now she's pregnant, and now she has these two twins who would eventually go down to the underworld and wreck shop. So this is the importance of this story, right? This is how he comes about. And it's like he stays eternal. So even like this is a great story, and no matter what you do, I ain't gonna stop. That's really how we got down. This is really what he did. He spit on her hand and magically impregnated her, man. I'm not even sure what to say about this, right? Like, I'm not really sure how to even process that. But whatever. This is how it went down. Like, man, there's miraculous births all over the world, man. If you crack open a book, man, you never be surprised at how people get pregnant, like the stuff they do. Like, pregnancy is a mythical, magical thing, right? Getting pregnant is a magical thing, and they prove it. So he becomes one of the more important stories because the hero twins are going to be very important as well. So we see all this. He, like, spiritually, he's associated with his lineage, and he is seen as this epic hero. I think because the sport, like, I don't know if it's what evolved in the squash, but whatever it is, like, the game that they invented is still epic and tied to the culture, and you'll see it when you watch, like a lot of the older, like anything with references to Aztec culture, you'll see them like representing this game. It was huge culturally, right? So then, wow, it's really raining here. So we got a lot of rain. So if you hear me looking on my shoulders, because the thunder's scaring me right now, right? So the next one we have is it's Ha-Napu. And this is one of the sons, right? So the Pops was here, right? This is Pops, and this is the first son, right? Ha-Napu, right? And Ha-Napu, right? Just cut that first part. And so he is one of the twins. And he's known for, obviously, this association. These are two divine forces. He and his brother descend to the underworld. Now, in terms of both of these deities, like the father and the son, they're all over all kind of video games. Like, they're kind of hidden. They're kind of hidden in video games, but if you pay attention, you'll see these guys pop up all over video games. They're deep. They're heavily discussed. And anytime you have like Mesoamerican artwork, you're probably going to see these guys featured. They're all kind of museum exhibits. They're in educational documentaries. Any video games with like Maya themes, they're going to be prominently on display in those belief systems. That's just fundamental to who they are. That's one thing. And they've been carrying that for a long time, right? So when we're talking about these deities, we're talking about like a long history of worship among them. Their earliest deities, like maize, you had the maize deity in place at the earliest times of your civilization, right? Without the maize deity, you never get to be in, the civilization. Like, these things are intricately tied together. So he is a part of their culture and history. And we're going back probably, both of these guys probably roughly 1500 BCE is the time frame when they started. And they're all over the belief system. Like, they're still known. Now the son, Ha-Napu, is also associated with bravery, right? His personality is to be brave. He's associated as like a solar deity. And he and his brother, who we're going to talk about, what they do is they basically are monster hunters. They're kind of tricksters, or their personalities are kind of funny. They're known for being kind of tricksters. but mainly they hunt monsters, right? I hunt monsters and I fight underworld conquerors. That's essentially it. Like if you go on his profile, this is what he says about himself. Right? It's probably like a picture of him like, killing a monster or something like that. So this is what he and his brother are known for. They are known for being brave, for being clever, for being athletic, and this association with the sun. Now, this is a big part of it because I always like to talk about which deities are still around, who's still like getting the business, who's actually like being spoken about. Because it's very important for these deities, right? These guys are talked about very prevalently because they're in a lot of series like the Dark Horse series, Razor House series, Bat House, and in the Bat House they fight the Death Bat, who is Kamazoots, right? And we'll talk about him in this as well. So these guys are the mythic version of the Hero Quest. These two brothers are the mythic, like, yeah, we're gonna take on this absolutely insane situation. Just the two of us. We've got each other's back, right? Like these are the two guys. Like we'll show them here, and you can see he's ready, right? And this one's right, Shaba Lanke, right? Shaban Lanke. I'm sure I'm mutilating this one, but we'll work this thing out together. This is the other brother, right? So this is the interesting part because the first brother represents the sun, the second brother represents the moon, right? That's those two things are always like, uniquely tied together, the sun and the moon. So he represents the moon, he represents darkness, and he is strategy. So remember, his brother was more like the bravery, the athleticism. This is the guy who kind of strategizes it to it, right? So if his brother is a bold hero, he is the strategist. So what he represents himself is trickster intelligence. He has divine patience. He shows massive abilities for deception, even in combat. And he's said to be the figure who always figures out how to beat the gods. And that's the major thing. They are, and the trickster archetype kind of exists in all mythologies. Like we talked about Loki in Norse. We talked about Anansi. We talked about Coyote, another one from this same culture here that's been represented for a long time. So the trickster was always very important. We relied upon cleverness. Like the whole story of cleverness is riddled throughout mythology. We never talk about being clever, like being able to outsmart people, but it's a major component of a lot of mythological stories. And I'll go back to like Odysseus, right? The whole trials of Odysseus was somehow outsmarting everybody while screwing himself over at the same time. Like he was individually outsmarting everyone he came up to, but overall he had pissed off the gods so much that it didn't, like the gods were creating the larger situations which he had to continually try to, outmaneuver his way out of. That's another story, and we'll talk about him. But this is what you get, that trickster personality. The trickster is the one who's known for literally, I will outsmart everyone. I will put the gods in their place. And this is how these two twins ultimately are able to, establish their space, right? They are the mythic heroes. They go and they avenge their brothers, their father, by they avenge his death by descending to the underworld and facing all these like insane demons. That's what they do. That's how they get out. So classic heroes that we see in a lot of myth. These guys are still studied in Mayan communities, anthropologies, myth courses. So these are two of the best preserved Native American myth cycles. Like these stories here has endured, and like I said, we're probably talking the peak of it being about 1500 years before Common Era, right? Is I think is where we're looking at with this belief system. Obviously, Common Era was like the start of the new calendar system here in the West, right? And they had their own calendar system, right? This culture also had their own calendar system, right? So the next one that we get to here on the list is Kamazoots. And this is, I gotta say, I didn't think I would say it before, but this is probably my favorite of the Aztec Maya belief system. This is the bat demon, and he is associated with darkness and of course with death. He has the ability to fly, right? He's built for predatory combat, right? You can see that. He has like fear-inducing abilities. He is a mythic creature, so he appears in some of the oldest of the tales, and he faces the two hero twins, and he cuts one of their heads off. Like, I don't know how the story keeps going. Like, obviously you got some renewal or something going on like that, but he cuts off the head of one of the brothers, right? So that's what he is known for. And let me find some of this. This is where I knew about this guy, because I've been seeing this deity for a long time. And let me show you guys this here. Just want to make sure I get it right. Okay, this is my guy right here. Hang on. Let me see if I can grab this here real quick. This figure, I know it in a couple of comic books, and even in a couple of anime series. Yeah, this is it right here. You guys are probably, I don't know if this isn't the same one. Like, yeah, actually, this is it, right? No, that's not the one, man. He was in Hellboy, and I'm trying to think of which Hellboy it was. Because, okay, so he's in, I think it's the last of the Hellboy movies not with Ron Perlman. Like, once they finally make the crossover, right, you get this new, and you get the new Hellboy. Come on. You know what, guys? I'm sorry. You know how it is when you're trying to grab something on the internet, and it's like, nah, I don't want you to do this, and it just does whatever, man. And that's what this thing is doing to me right now, right? Like, anyway, okay, it's not gonna be worth it, right? I'm telling you guys, it's not gonna be worth it, right? I wish I grabbed the image, but he's in the Hellboy series, and that's where I recognize it from. It's in the animate series. That's what I actually wanted to find for you guys. Let me point other front at it. Right? Where is it at? Can you find the image of Kama Zatz in the Hellboy animated film? And this was a great setup. I can't remember the name of that. Which Hellboy it was. Let's see if ChatGPT can bring it up for me. Because I've watched this thing even pretty recently. It's Hellboy Blood and Iron. Right, okay. Why would you just bring the image? Okay. I'm just going to share my screen here. This is ridiculous here. Oh, man. Okay. You know what? Now it wants to just show me the film. I didn't.
To the earth to wage war.
This is ridiculous. Okay. Can you just find an image of him? I just want to show an image of this bat demon. That's all I want to do. Like, from the movie, from the animated. Man, these things on left here are smarter than us. But, so this demon's been around for a long time. He's in some famous stories. Like the Hellboy story, I'm going to say this one was like, what year was this? This is 2007, right? So this isn't that long ago. It's not that long ago that he was in like a pretty decent sized, high production movie and animated series. Like, so we've seen him in like 2 films, right? And that seems pretty much appropriate. But enduring as this figure of this bat demon, like, he's still very prevalent. And that's what really keeps a lot of mythologies around is, you know, kind of how we see him in the modern sense. Like, all right, this is what we're looking at. I think this one's from the film here. The Hellboy film, like he's in the ring, he's fighting this dude, like, and he kills him here. Yeah, Hellboy kills him in both instances. And here's him in the actual comic series, right? So as deities go, if you're thousands of years old and someone decides to put you in a movie, just be in it, right? That preserves your legacy. So this is what we got. You get this continued representation from these really ancient deities. So it's kind of cool. Like, you end up relying on comic book guy to keep our mythology alive. I don't know if that's a good strategy for us, but you know, this is what we're getting right now. So this is, well, I guess you're getting me too, right? I'm also, and us, we're also kind of preserving our mythologies together, right? By sharing them, by talking about them. So he's one of the major deities, like the bat deity. He's been around for a very, very long time. Culturally, he might be. So right now, culturally, is he the most relevant of the Mayan deities, or at least the demon side of them? And I would have to imagine, like, obviously, it's like, you know, we talked about Kukulkan, we talked about Quetzalcoatl, but this got to be pretty major as far as how the deities goes. He's still, you know, at this level. Yeah, He's more of a dark side, right? And probably, yeah, like the horror imagery. Okay, so there's a lot. So he's been in 2 films. Okay, so the Hellboy series from 2007, the animated, right? And then Hellboy, the reboot of it in 2019, and then in Smite movies, and he's in some fantasy novels. So it's almost like whenever somebody wants to do some Mesoamerican monster, this is the go-to guy. He's the first call guy. He gets all the work, right? In this so he's not among the famous. I still say that's going to be, Kulkan or Quetzalcoatl, but this guy's not doing bad work, man. He's out there actually doing good work, okay? So he's one of those major deities. He's still around. Overall ratings, man, like he's tied to the hero twins. So, he algorithmically, he's connected to that. And then the whole myth of him is this this bat house in their ancient myth, the Pupulvu. He hides inside, like the Hun Ampu hides inside a blowgun, and he peeks his head out to see if Kama is coming, and he instantly decapitates him. So it's a brutal story, man. Like, I think Batman is probably a representation of him. Like, Batman comes out of him. I could definitely see that. And probably, like, I'm sure they were looking at that and like how he rolled the dark side. Yeah, 100%. I would actually see that. I actually could see that. And then the next one we got here is, this is just not the right button. Okay, this guy here, right? So this is Vuku, right? Who is Kashish, Vuku Kashish, who is said to be the 7 Macaw. That's what he's known as, is the 7 Macaw, and he is said to be one of the false gods, right? That's interesting. Let's see if we can dig up a little bit more mythology about this deity here, besides what's just in the book. Now the book's going to give you like a nice little intro, like I just kind of break it out for you. It'll tell you the pantheon. So this is from Mayan belief system. This is a false god, but let's see what else we can find. What else can we find about this deity online? Important to was he worshipped? Was he feared? What were his time periods? Let's see what we get when we ask that of this intelligence here. Maybe it'll be useful for us. But he is said to be a sky demon, right? Now this is interesting. He is said to be a sky demon who pretended to be the sun. That's scary on the surface right there. Like, that's absolutely, like, man, that's pretty insidious. Oh, Kat, you downloaded the book. Thank you so much. So, guys, Kat just downloaded the book, and, like, I'm telling you guys, I hope you guys do good things with it. I'm excited. I think that's, like, the 2nd download already. We just dropped this thing. So, I'm excited about it. It's just something I wanted to give you guys. So, I hope you enjoy it. Sincerely, I hope you enjoy it. That's got a lot of love from me going out to you guys. I just feel good that if you guys can use it, make use of it any way possible, like other than crime. Use it for anything other than crime, and I'm 100% like I'm gonna be honest. Like, don't look at this and be like, man, I'm gonna summon this demon. Don't look at what I'm giving you guys and be like, I'm gonna summon this demon, and then that demon gets out of control, and now you call the authorities, and you're like, this demon got out of control. What do we do? And you're like, I read about him in this book, and then they come knocking on my door. Look, I'm gonna be really honest. I do not know how to stop a demon. Like, I really don't. Like, I seriously have no. And I'll be like, I didn't give him that book. That's not. I will, like, throw you under the bus, man. If you get a demon going, do not drag me into that. I'm telling you guys. Let's all start by not summoning demons. All right, we're all gonna agree to that. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're not gonna do it. All right. Good job, guys. Thank you. I'm feeling better about it right now. Okay, so this guy, this beaky bastard here is like, I'm the sun god. He has all these like jewels on him. He's like, I got brilliant colors, and everyone's like getting gassed up because he says he's the moon. He says he's the sun. He says he's the light of the world, and he is lying about every single bit of it, man. Every single bit of it is just a lie, right? He goes on, and basically it's kind of incomplete, but he just declares himself the ruler of the universe. The hero twins again come in and realize he's a fraud. They attack him, and they ultimately destroy him. So again, you invited that. Punks run up to get beat down. It's something that we love to say around here, and that's kind of what happened. He's defeated when the hero twins shoot him out of a tree with a blowgun. Man, they believed in that blowgun. Didn't work last on that previous time. Works on this one, and they're able to get it. He survives the first attack, and even rips off one of the twins' arms, but they trick him again. They then remove his jeweled teeth, right? The cha-ching, and remove his gemstone eyes. And once those shining features are gone, he loses his power and he dies. Right? He was all about the bling, and once it was gone, he was no longer around. He was never worshipped, but he was just in this specific story. This is, we're talking like very classic Maya period, right? This is 100% classic Maya period. So the story is over 1,000 years old. His symbolism is about obviously the false god, like believing in false prophets. And this is just one of those like examples of how these deities work. Like, yeah, there are forces out there that are attempting to trick you for evil purposes, and he was 100% that. Right? So the next one I got for you guys, let's move on to the next one, is Zip, right? Now, this is the mountain maker. This is Zipakna. Zipakna, not Tupac, Zipakna. And he is said to be the mountain maker, right? Like, and this is obviously very important because he's not a god. He is a primordial monster. He's a monster. I would say you're more of a primordial monster, which is important as well. Now, his roles is said to be, right, he's associated with responsible for raising mountains. That was his job down there, right? They caught this guy and they're like, okay, they contracted him to do like 7 mountains, right? That's what they did. 7 mountains. And they got him there because he had this great strength. He's known for earth manipulation. This is actually what his ability is. You could see him. And right off the bat, man, that makes me think like Geb, right? This is Geb, right? This is absolutely Geb. And yeah, we need to absolutely see that. The Geb is, again, another one he's often sometimes depicted as an alligator, right? Who's in that land. But he's known for his mountain manipulation ability. He was, again, another one that got defeated by the twins. Let me see if we can figure out how the famous story, okay? A group of 400 men were trying to build a house. They dig a huge hole. Let me bring this so I can read this right to you. This is a bit of a mythology here, right? Let me get it to the proper screen. Okay, this is the story here, okay? A group of 400 men were trying to dig a house. They dig a hole to place a central support beam. And Vip happens to pass by. Because of his strength, they ask him to help them move this massive tree trunk for the house. He lifts it easily and places it inside of the hole. But the boys are scared of him, so they secretly plan to kill him. That totally makes sense to me, man. That absolutely makes sense. Somebody help me out, and now I go and kill him after they help me out. That's every day, man. That's what I do every day. Okay, so absolutely, see, this won't go wrong. So then there becomes the assassination attempt. They dig a deep pit and they plan to trap him in. They tell Zimkhana to climb into the hole to set the support beam. They intend to drop the beam on him and bury him alive. But he is not stupid. So instead, he digs a secret escape tunnel underground and he waits. So when the boys think he's dead, he celebrates. He emerges and he collapses the entire house on all of them, killing all 400. Now, these scholars believe that the 400 boys represent a constellation of stars in Mesoamerican belief system, right? See, you guys didn't think you're going to learn something like this today, right? So the number 400 often means countless numbers, but it is in reference to they got murked and now they are all these celestial beings. So eventually, like, he survives this because he's intelligent. So this is when the twins decide that he's too dangerous. I don't know how they decided that, right? But anyway, they decided he's too dangerous. So they trick him with a giant fake crab. Apparently he loves crab. He tries to lift the mountain where the crab appears, but the mountain collapses on him and buries him alive. He's a mountain mover, though. At any rate, this is his story. This is why mountains exist and why they stay in place. So he is trapped there forever under his own machinations, essentially. Like, you're a mountain controller and they trapped you. And what was he really doing wrong? They just decided that he was no longer viable. This kind of reminds me of Gilgamesh and Enkidu, right? Remember that story where they go and kill Umbaba, right? Like the cedar forest deity. He hadn't been doing anything wrong either, right? And they're just like, yeah, it'll be bomb to go and kill something that dope and significant. So they do, right? That's the story of it. Then after they do, it's kind of like, man, you guys got to feel weird about killing somebody just there was protecting the forest. Any rate, this deity here is definitely classic mythology for Aztec culture, or the Mexica, I think they're called now. And the first manuscript, or the oldest surviving manuscript that mentions this particular deity, goes back to the 1500s. But the belief system's obviously much older than that. So we're looking at probably maybe a 1500-year history. Zip himself represents, Zipacna represents raw strength. Wow, raw strength without wisdom. So he's very powerful, but he's also like massively reckless. He is geological creation, so he creates mountains and landscapes, but he is still tied to chaos before order. So he's that primordial. And it's not unusual, right, it's not unusual to be loved by anyone, right? It's not unusual, right? It's not unusual that the primordial gods have to get exterminated by like the new pantheon of gods that come in, right? That happens all the time, right? So we hear the stories repeatedly. I'm sorry, and so I just shared the link to the book to the Instagram. So if you're listening on Instagram, if you click that link, that'll take you to my Patreon. There's literally like the downloadable book right there. You don't have to do nothing, man. Nothing asked of you. Just go on down with the book. Do good things with it. Don't commit crimes with it, right? Like share the love, right? We're all in this together, right? It takes a village. So this guy here, Zipacna, is essentially like the Hulk of Mayan mythology. Like that's kind of what he's a giant who's so strong he literally lifts mountains. But they're just like, yeah, we can't have you around because you don't, you just be wilding out, and you wilding out having great strength is like the Hulk. You saw what they did to him. They sent him away too, right? So that's kind of how we end up dealing with some of the more significant mythology stories. Like giants always had to get up out of here, man. This is actually though my favorite one right here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You can clearly see this guy. He's look. I don't know what it is, but sometimes these demon representations are just too much fun. And this is Cabra Khan. Cabra Khan, right? Now Cabra Khan is said to be the earthquake demon, and of course this is also Mayan mythology. So we're kind of heavy on the Mayan mythology right now. We've shifted out of the Aztec a little bit, but this is a great figure. Let's learn a little bit more about. Hang on one second. Okay, I'm gonna copy this because I want to see if we can pull up a little more information. Now, what's gonna be in the book is gonna give you like the basic profile, right? Let's learn more. Let's learn. This is a fascinating character. Let's learn more about this character. Is this character being featured in anything? Is there any significant mythology? And when was the first mention of this character in their myth, in their writings? So, okay, this is a demon who is said to be responsible for earthquakes and destruction. Now, they're saying what his abilities are seismic manipulation. So you control earthquakes, literally, earth shaking, and he is said to be a deceased mythic creature. He is a sibling, or said to be the brother of. Whoops. He's said to be the brother of. Where's my man at? Where's my man at? Let's go back. Okay, there we go. He is said to be the brother of Zipacna. So Zipacna was the mountain builder, and this is the earthquake demon, right? So I don't know who their mom was or their pops was, but clearly you guys were all about that life. You guys are all about that earth manipulating life. One son is a earth creator and mountain maker. The other son is an earthquake demon. And this guy's been represented in a lot of mythology, even outside mine. He's one of the most dramatic villains in Aztec myths, and he literally represents earthquakes and the violent shaking of the earth. His story appears in their narrative, Pupul Ovu, and he plays one of the most important roles in it. So he is, if you talk about a couple of false god, we've talked about a mountain creator, and now we're talking about this earthquake creator. It's just a powerful, powerful being when they talk about what he could do and just controlling the earth itself. Like, we're all on the earth, so I don't know if you guys are factoring how important that is. He's another one that was killed by the twins. So the twins just been bodying people, man. The twins are just running around catching bodies left and right. And he's so strong that even the twins can't fight him straight up. So what they do is they offer him a roasted bird. Oh man, this is insidious. They offer him a roasted bird. Oh man. Sorry, y'all. They offer him a roasted bird, and it's poison. It's It's poisoned with earth and magical substances, man. I'm just like, man, come on, man. I gotta shed a little tear for homie, man. Like that's an ultimate. It's the worst kind of deception when it's wrapped with kindness, right? It's absolutely the worst kind of deception. So they give him this burr. It's poison. He becomes weak. His strength fades. He can no longer shake the earth. So they bury him beneath the ground. They don't even kill him. So I'm massively claustrophobic, guys. So I don't play that. When someone's like, yeah, I don't believe in locking people up and stuff like that. But symbolically, he is like the personification of natural disasters, which is fine. Giants that move earth, giants that are angry and cause earthquakes. This was very common. So he is literally buried under the earth, which means this is why earthquakes still happen. Like he's struggling beneath the surface. This is why we're still having earthquakes, because he can't get out. He's not strong enough to get out, but he's still strong enough to like shake the earth. And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to bust out. And he's never been worshipped, obviously, because he's more of a chaos monster. And it looks like, you know, he does kind of show up occasionally in like some myth books, some myth breakdowns. Obviously, he'll be in some fantasy art. There's some desktop games that, you know, that he's kind of featured in. So this guy's kind of getting his business in right now. If his brother builds mountain, he's the monster who tears him down. So maybe it's good business for both of them working together. He's the earthquake demon in their belief systems. And he is defeated not even by strength or intellect, by just like insidiousness of you know, the poison. Like you came at him with the poison, right? So yeah, that's 100% like the issue with this guy here. But I digress. It's a great deity. I got some, you see I'm kind of developing some of the artwork to go with this. Right now you can cop the early version. I'm just handing this thing out. Go to the channel, please copy it. If you're using it for some research, let me know if it's a useful tool for you guys. And let me know if these breakdowns here are also useful for you guys as well. So at any rate, thank you for stopping in. I'm going to sign off right now, kind of get my evening break. But I'll have some mythology running up for you guys later on as we kind of, you know, just kind of keep it rolling. Let me know if you guys have any requests, anything you want to hear. I will be going into doing some production of some more stories for story time. So if there's anything you want to hear,